in Minnesota. It happened about a week after the shooting of Renee Good. So tensions were already high at the moment that this had occurred. And the way the Department of Homeland Security described it at the time was that there was a traffic stop. This was an immigration encounter, and that these two men fled, and that they were also, the federal agents, attacked by a shovel as well as a broom, and that the agent opened fire and hit one of the men in the leg. Now, since then, there has been a case. And the first development in this case that started to sound off some alarm bells was late last week when the Justice Department filed a motion to dismiss the charges against these men. The judge ultimately dismissed them, but essentially what unfolded was that they could not find video or eyewitness testimony that backed up what the federal agents had said had transpired in that immigration enforcement encounter. And both of these men had denied assaulting the federal agents with a broom or a snow shovel, as had been claimed. And then on Friday, Pamela, we heard from the acting Immigration and Customs Enforcement Director, so the boss of these federal agents, who said, and I'm going to quote here from the statement, both officers have been immediately placed on administrative leave pending the completion of a thorough internal investigation. Lying under oath is a serious federal offense. The U.S. Attorney's Office is actively investigating these false statements. Upon conclusion of the investigation, the officers may face termination of employment as well as potential criminal prosecution. So right now there is a criminal probe that has been opened up into these agents and whether or not they lied under oath about this incident. Of course, after all of this, when this incident occurred, was the shooting of Alex Preddy. So this has just been a tense moment in Minneapolis. It was a significant development in this high-profile string of shootings, and yet another moment in which the credibility of the Department of Homeland Security in that moment was questioned.
And I believe we have some sound from Tom Homan, right?
That's right. And Tom Homan was asked about this by our Jake Tapper yesterday.
Well, like I said in my first press conference in Minnesota, in those comments, the first thing I said I was going to do, and I did, is bring more internal affairs officers to Minnesota to investigate the allegations. Allegations are made, they need to be investigated. And again, I want to discuss the investigations. We'll let the internal affairs and the Bureau investigate these allegations, and that's the right thing to do.
Now, remember, of course, Tom Homan came into Minneapolis by the direction of the president after all of these shootings had transpired, and there was so many conflicting accounts of what was going on in the state. Now, Tom Homan, of course, is also leading the charge in the drawdown of federal agents in Minnesota, which he also talked about there. So certainly there is still a lot of investigating into what even happened a month or two ago.
Yeah. All right, Priscilla Alvarez, thanks so much. Stay with us. We're going to have a larger conversation now. I want to bring in Elise Adamson. She's a former federal prosecutor.